Hi everyone. Today we are going to have a look at the topic that why should we choose sequels, right? So choosing sequel is also one of the very major reason that we should be aware about before choosing any direction, that why we are choosing that. So that I am going to discuss this today. So this video can go a bit longer. This can be extended as so far as comparison to my other videos that are basically short about the sequels. Okay, so in this video we are going to first discuss about why to choose SQL. What are the options that you can explore? What are the domains that you can explore by just learning one language, that is SQL. Okay, so that we are going to see. But before coming to what is SQL and how to do those things, you should be first aware about that why you should listen to me in order to perform the sequels. There are other people also as well, and I do respect them, that each one has followed their each path, their own path. So it's just a matter of thing that we are providing a roadmap for you guys to follow, and that can be beneficial to you, not for everyone definitely, because everyone has some different goal, but it might align to your goal also. Okay, so why should you listen to me? So first thing is that I am already into a corporate training environment, and I am working as a role of the corporate trainer, where I have trained not just the Indian clients, as well as I have been to international overseas, where I am right now at a position of being an international overseas Microsoft certified trainer. Okay, in this Microsoft domain, or in the domain of corporate trainer, I am certified with multiple certifications courses, that is DP 900, which is about data fundamentals of Microsoft. Then I am DP 203, which is Microsoft certified on DP data engineerings. Then I am certified with DP 300, which is about database administrator. Along with that, I am also going on with the Microsoft certified training certifications. Okay, and I have trained multiple trainers which are present in the corporate as well. Okay, multiple corporate people I have trained. You can verify all these informations by the link that I am providing, my GitHub and the LinkedIn profile. So you can check everything on the LinkedIn profile as well if you want to just have a cross tally of that. Okay, I'm totally comfortable with that. Everything is present on my LinkedIn profile. It definitely you should check out once before listening to someone else, that is he following the same path what he's telling or not. Okay, so that is very much important for you as well. So you can, if you want, you can have a look at it. Okay, now moving ahead to why to choose SQL. Okay, the reason of choosing SQL is that whenever we hear the term SQL, that is structured query language, SQL, right? Whenever we hear this out, so the thing that is coming inside our mind is all about the domain of data, that everywhere it will be beneficial in data domain itself. But I am right now working, like let's suppose some of the person will be saying that I'm working as a domain of web developer, or I'm targeting as a domain of web developer. So how can be SQL beneficial to me, for a person who is already learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript and all those things? Okay, so just try to understand this question. Or someone, if he or she is trying to do the startups, or he or she might be thinking that will this language be helpful for me in the future if I am going to opt for my startups or something like that. So everywhere SQL can be a very common language in order to proceed. How? Let me tell you. So first thing is that SQL is not just used to study data, to read data, to analyze data, or to visualize data. It is used also in order to connect your front end with the backend databases, right? That's where it plays a major role in terms of web development. When you talk about the web development, then in terms of app development, or in any development, when you want to get the end data user, end data from the end users, you need a SQL connectivity in order to connect that. And for that we use SQLite, .NET connectivity languages, and there are multiple other languages which is used to connect the front end users to the backend in order to collect data. Now the question arises that is this job, or is this domain replaceable? Can we replace this domain? Simple example is that, take an example right now, if you wanted to buy a jacket, or if you wanted to buy any of the clothes, you are searching for that on any of the e-commerce platform, whether Flipkart, Myntra, Amazon or somewhere else, right? So what happens is that you are looking for that product, and somehow some organizations are getting the information that you are already looking at, and you will watch the ads of the similar thing. So how is this done? In a very quick manner. So this is done on basis of data itself, because data is the current fuel. Those data are basically sold out to each and every organization who are selling their own products. Okay, your personal information, your data of the interest, whatever interest that you are keeping in buying anything, in shopping anything, so those interesting things that you like are basically data for someone else. So for someone else, it is just a fuel in order to sell its products, right? So this is never going to end, because nowadays, right now, if we talk in India or outside India also, the number of people who are using the internet is growing rapidly, and more the number of people will be there on the internet, not just educated, non-educated people also are coming over the internet. That can be more beneficial for multiple organizations. Multiple companies are collecting that data. So the volume of data that is getting collected by each organization is undefinable. I cannot define you the amount of the volume of data that is generated. Like for each e-commerce, I am just giving a sample of example. I have already seen that data, verified that from the Walmart data or any e-commerce platform data. So that is near up to 10 crore of data row counts is getting generated every 4 hours on a large e-commerce platform. So by this you can make a guess that this domain is irreplaceable. Okay, now coming to major point, that how can we connect this with multiple platforms? As I said, as I just gave the example of the web development, right? So what are the options that we have in terms of data? In terms of data, you can opt to go with the data analysis. You can go, if you have a good command of data analysis, you can go with the data visualization, which is used to basically have an insight of data. There using the data visualization tools like Power BI or Tableau, you can extract the information from the data of near about 10 crore, 20 crore, 100 crore also. So you can analyze a large bunch of data in a very short duration of time by connecting multiple databases, connectivity and all those things. As you will step inside it, there is a lot of way. Definitely there is a lot of way. This is not easy also. I'm not saying this is easy, because if it would have been easy, you would not have spent 15 years or 20 years of just time in learning SQLs or experiencing that. It is very deep. You can go very deep in it, but it is a good to start language, I'm saying, because you can do multiple options with it. You can do the backend connectivity of the databases, connect your end users to the databases where you can collect the data. If you are aware about working on SQLs, you can use them to query the data, to filter out the data, to find the extraction of data. Right now, whatever data is collected in day-to-day world, it's not clean. There are multiple errors that is present inside the data. Okay, so the job of data analyst is basically they are responsible to clean the data, get the valuable insights from them. Okay, first job, first definition that I gave you. Second job is for DBA, that is database administrator. So database administrator also use SQLs in order to connect the front end to the back end and manage the databases, backups, restore and all those things at the back end. Okay, so these two roles are there: data analyst, database administrator. Now coming to some advanced level of data. If we have already experienced like 1 to 3 years of experience, if you are having working on SQLs, you have worked on multiple live projects, you can switch to data engineering domain as well, which is quite similar to what data analyst or data visualization people, data administration people are doing. But the just concept is that inside data engineering, you can automate the entire task. Whatever data analysts are doing, you can automate that task very easily. Okay, so that flow you can get, and that is where data engineers are in high demand right now in the organization, because there is a shortage of experiences, and at the second part there are shortage of people as well. That is why it is a lack, there is a gap between the demand and supply right now for the data engineers, and that's why data engineers are high in demand. Okay, now talking about another advanced level of data domain that we have, which is called as data scientist, right? So data scientists are also in very high demand, because they can use machine learning algorithms in order to interact with the data, and they can find valuable insights from the unstructured data as well. Now let me just give you an example. You must have used Google Lens or the Google Pixel, right? That's one of the best product of Google as comparison to other as well, which is Google Maps and all those things. So that is also a tech product, right? So if I give you explanation on that product, what happens in that, you basically click a image of you click a pic of anything, right? And then it does what, you can extract the text from them. So how can you extract the text from them? When any machine learning algorithm is applied and from an unstructured data, any unstructured thing, you can extract the data, you can get the valuable insights from the data, right, from that image. So how that is done? That is done with the help of data scientists. They have prepared those products. So the people who basically define or create products with the help of data analysis as well as the machine learning algorithms, they are called as data scientists. They are at the highest priority level of data, okay, at the top. Now coming to second one, which is about data engineers, which are responsible to automate the task, okay. So they are also watching the live data, they are also working with the live data as well as the historical data that is stored. Now coming to data analyst. So data analyst and data visualization are the people who are just working with the historical data, means the data is already saved and then they are working on it, okay. Then we have DBA, that is database administrator. These four roles are basically present if you are working in the domain of data, okay. These four are major domain. Apart from that, there can be multiple things like data consultant, data management peoples. There are different job roles in it as well, but database administrator is the fourth one, which is basically who is responsible to do the connectivity of the databases, can manage the backups, restoring and scheduling the jobs on it. So this is also one of the major role which is in demand overseas, not in India, overseas, because they are switching their everything to the databases. Now earlier they were not used to collect the data. Now they have planned to collect the data and they are doing multiple research on those data. So for that they need a proper DBA people. And if you can check on the LinkedIn or any Naukri.com, you will see multiple DB opportunities are getting on overseas. There people are learning right now more database administrator tasks. So all these four domains can be captured by just one single domain, one single language, I mean to say, that is SQL. And not just these four things. Apart from this, if you are looking for any, like if you have a basic experience of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you are working with Node scripts, Node.js and all, there also database connectivity can play a major role for you. That can open a new gate for your success, for your career at least, because if you know the backend connectivity, there is a high chance, high probability that you will be getting hired, right? If you can understand the backup connectivity, that means, which means if you have a SQL present in your resume and you are aware about that SQL queries, the managers or the hiring people will understand the concept that they can collaborate with the backend database team, at least not working as a database backup team, but you can at least collaborate with them very properly. So that is one of the benefits of learning SQL for all the people who are working in web development domain as well. Apart from that, if you are working on API integrations or any app development, Flutter development, if we say, there also the connectivity or the final data is going to the database itself. It's not going to somewhere just app, or it is getting stored in the files. It is also getting stored in the databases itself. So there are multiple types of databases. There are multiple types of explanations that is given about databases, type of SQL queries, type of SQLs we have. So all those things I am basically trying to explain everything in short videos. I'm just trying to keep the video short every time, that whatever videos I'm basically uploading on my YouTube channel. The reason is that if we hear out the short videos, it becomes our mentality that we have studied less but we have gained more knowledge, right? And the thing is that you need to just practice more and more on those environments itself. So you can check out the entire playlist that I have uploaded on SQL. This is not an entire playlist, I would say. This is just 30% of the content that I have covered so far. That is the basics of SQLs for the beginners that you want to start, right? And if you have any doubts, I can start with a new concept as well for the very beginners. These are just for the people who are at least aware about some of the technologies, aware about some of the domains. Okay, but still it's a good that you can start with a very basic one. It won't take much of time. So these are the reasons that why you should consider yourself in order to learn SQLs. This can be useful at any platform, any 4 domain that I have mentioned, that is DBA, data analyst, data visualization, data engineer, data scientist. So all these 4 and 5 roles are basically working with data. Apart from this, we have covered for the web development, app development as well. So this is why I would suggest everyone, every developer, any person who is working right now in the domain of IT sector, right, for the domain of data, or they have some connectivities, it is always recommended go for the SQL as well, because this one language you can connect with multiple things. And the best part of this SQL along with Python, let's compare this with SQL versus Python. If I say that, then SQL language does not have multiple frameworks. Okay, as Python have multiple types of frameworks for learning on like working on machine learning algorithm, you will get multiple packages like numpys, pandas, matplotlib, graphpy. So there are multiple packages which you need to work on while working with the Python. If you are working with the backend environment, you need to work with Django and the Flask. Okay, so similarly for the app development, you need to go with the Java environment combined with the Java environment and do the stuff. So everywhere you need some different packages, different libraries. It's good, Python is definitely good, but for a person who is not aware about or not getting interest into that domain, right, interest into the domain of coding or something like that, I would recommend SQL is the best thing, because SQL just have Postgres, Oracle and all those things, which is very simple in it. And you are not required to learn all these things. In fact, you just learn the SQL server, Microsoft SQL server, because that is one of the major component on which most of the companies, most of the organizations are working. And if you are confident about just one language, that is SQL, you can cover Postgres, Oracle just in single day. This is my challenge, you can cover in single day, because everything is same. There is just slight difference in some of the parts of the queries, that's it. Rest everything is same. Okay, so these are the reason I would list that these are the reason why you should consider SQL. At least give a try, give 15 to 20 days to yourself, just 1 hour a day. That would be enough to understand, and by that you can understand and figure out that is SQL for you or not. So that's it, and here I will end the video. If you are into it, if you are finding it a good thing, you can check out the entire playlist that I have mentioned, which is definitely for the beginners as well. And if you need any content, anything separate, you can ping me on my LinkedIn or my YouTube channel as well. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye.